even though it's a little bit tight. Oh, yes. Oh, like a glove. You guys look worried there for a second. Hi team, Sil here, and welcome to another camping video. Thank you for tuning in. It was an awesome trip. The weather has turned on us this morning and I am absolutely drenched. But we had fun. We saw really cool lizards, we saw incredible views, we did some scrambling, some rope climbing. It was just awesome, and I did a bit of camping too. So thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the video. Alright, so for this weekend's adventure, we are in Morton National Park in New South Wales, and it's spring and the bugs are starting to come out. Today is going to be a top of 27 degrees Celsius, so as opposed to last weekend where it was -4, this weekend's challenge will be managing heat. And I've got a bit of a heavier pack because I didn't feel I could sit up in my tent last weekend, so I brought my 3-person tent. Also, there's larger sections without water on this walk, so I had to bring extra water. So it's going to be another video of me complaining about my glutes, it seems. All right. I've never brought a handkerchief at hiking, or a bandana I guess, but now I get it because I'm sweating into my glasses and into my hat, and I got nothing to wipe it off with because everything's just getting drenched in sweat. So I'm getting myself a bandana. So we're starting to be able to see where we're going through the trees. We're going to the top of that. This is a nice subtle way of marking that you're on the right track. Alright guys, so if you know my last video, you know I like to ask lots of questions when we go hiking. So my question to you guys is, what do you love about getting outside? Simple question. Sometimes harder answer. But for me, what I love about outdoor activities is the sense of not only mastering your body, but mastering the environment. Which don't get me wrong, I have not got that sense. But that's the sense I want to achieve, like to be able to camp in alpine conditions, to be able to, you know, survive difficult physical exercises. Like right now I'm carrying, gosh, what must be 15 kilos up a very high mountainside. And I thought about using ultralight gear, and I will eventually invest in it, but it's so expensive. And I was thinking, I'd rather be stronger and not broke than getting the lightest things in the world but spending thousands and thousands of dollars on it. But anyway, maybe in time I will start to accumulate lighter gear. I've already got a light tent on its way from America. But you guys let me know in the comments below, what do you guys love about going for hikes and doing some camping and getting outdoors. This is spectacular. I'm surrounded by 3 sides by these incredibly tall mountain peaks. This is the castle, this is where I'm going, to the top of that. There's no kind of technical mountain climbing, but there is a couple of rope sections. We've come out of the kind of rainforest section now and going into a more drier Alpine section. I don't know if you can see, but the ground is rockier and the wind is picking up. Oh my gosh. But look at that. Is that gonna work? I hope you can see this incredible view that I see. It's just like 3 layers of cliff. With forests of eucalypts in between. It's just beautiful. Can't wait to see the view. This is glorious. The very cool thing about this hike is that you see your destination for a very long time. It's up the top of that. And so you get this sense of positive foreboding, excitement, as you slowly make your way bit by bit towards it. Pretty. I don't know if you can hear all those crickets in the background. It's almost deafening. Oh my gosh. There's Nipple Mountain. I don't know if you can see in the distance. But I don't think I need to tell you why that's called Nipple Mountain. The wind's starting to pick up. I'll get you better shots later of the infamous mountain. There is no way this hat will stay on my head in this kind of wind. Ah! This is awesome. I love Mother Nature. When I'm safe, obviously. But it's very windy up here. I've got my mic under my shirt and with a wind muff on, so you might not hear it, but you hopefully can see that the trees are wobbling. And it was bellowing just then, but now it's kind of died down a bit. Now I'm back in some trees. Not sure what this campground's gonna look like. So right now, I'm circling the base of the castle towards the kind of west side. And then we kind of wrap around towards the north. And then there's a camp there. And you can also ascend there. But man, just look at what I'm looking at. I think what we're about to do is go along this kind of cliff base and wrap between these two cliffs, that valley. Hopefully there'll be some water. I know that there is a creek around here, and then the camp will be on the other side with apparently massive views. Let's go! Check out this rockfall. I would not have wanted to be here the day this all came down. I mean, that is a nice boulder. I like that boulder. 10 points to whoever knows what movie I'm referencing. I'm stuck. I'm gonna have to crawl. We're getting there. You got a grunt. Oh, grunt. Ooh. There's somewhere we can camp later if needed. All right, I want a pole. There is a rock in my shoe, unsurprisingly, but there's about 40 minutes to go. What would you do? A, sit down, take your rock out of your shoe, involves untying and retying the shoe and having a rest. Or B, push through. Keen to see the results, guys. My vote is push through. Right, so I've just scrambled down that rock fall. Now I'm not quite sure which way to go. That way looks like a dead end, and that way it's just very much downhill. So if I'm wrong, it's going to be annoying to come back up. Decisions, eh? Anyway. Can't complain about the view. Let's go down. I think that's the right decision. And if I'm wrong, I'll just have a break and need some food and get rid of that bloody rock. Okay, we refound the trail. It was down the rocks. I had to pack away the tripod because it was getting too precarious to scramble with only 3 limbs available. But then I found this awesome stick. It's a great stick. Love a good stick. I'm learning the importance of packing a narrow frame. Like I've got this tent sticking out the sides, making me quite wide. It's making it, yeah, I'm getting pinched on a lot of things. It's like knocking me off balance and stuff when I'm going between trees and rocks. So I'm gonna try next time to pack more narrowly. That's cool. We could camp in there for sure. That's a cool cave. Randomly coming across a goanna on a hike is one of the most beautiful things. I just love how they walk. They're kind of creepy. I think he's still up there. I don't want to scare him. But they have such long... Oh, they're just such interesting creatures. Oh, look at that. You might not be able to see it, but there's little waterfalls coming down as well. This is just spectacular. There's beautiful wildflower as well. It's spring. I'm so happy. This is my happy place. Whoa. How cool is that? I'm now too tired to appreciate beauty. I'm literally in a field of flowers with incredible views. And all I can think about is how much my glutes hurt. I couldn't even film, but I just did a section that was so hard. Oh, look, the sitting area. Perfect timing. I'm having a break. Oh. Looks like we're going back through some bushy terrain. I'm so wrecked. I've totally changed my mind. I want everything ultralight, always. So they just get strong. Oh gosh, this is getting precarious. Hard to see the trail. Ah, here we go. Or some sign that we're in the right trail at least. I found where I can have a shower tomorrow. This is just spectacular. I feel like it's a totally different world to the world we were just in. We've gone from Alpine now to rainforest. There's all the cicadas going absolutely as loudly as they can. It's not the loudest I've heard actually. There was one hike I've done where the cicadas were so loud that it actually ruined the hike. But it's a good thing I brought earplugs to sleep. Because with the wind and the cicadas, I imagine it was going to be a rough night. Wow, look at that. That is where we're going. Alright guys, so I think I'm lost. I followed a sign to Monolith Valley which said 1.5 kilometers campground. Then I see a sign saying Monolith Valley and then it says no camping for the next 3 kilometers. I mean, I can't complain. So I've got these incredible views. But my bag's so heavy I don't want to go the wrong way. So I'm trying to decide what to do. I think I'm going to go back to the fork in the road that took me on this journey towards Monolith Valley and continue down it further to see if that's where the campground is, on the other side of the fork. Yeah, so if I'm looking at my not so high quality map, I think what happened is I went to the left of this fork, and then where the number 1 is, that is where the campground's meant to be, but there's also a fork there, and I think I went to the left there as well. So technically if I keep going right at forks, I'll just end up at the castle. So I'm going to go back and just take the right, and no matter which fork I'm at, if I go right, I'll be on the right track at least. Yeah, so this is the weird sign that says no camping or fires for the next 3 kilometers. So I'm in the wrong area. Okay, so I think I figured out what's happened. This is Mount Morion, Mount Cole. So according to that means that I have travelled all the way up here between Mount Morion and Mount Cole. So I've got to go all the way back. How did I miss the campground? Oh, maybe I was just rushing. Feeling a little disappointed, but I mean, it's all beautiful. I just kind of want to dump all my heavy gear so that I can be free to explore. But, oh no, and I just realized I just left my walking stick. That was a good walking stick. Oh well, a wise friend of mine has an expression: you are always at the right place at the right time. And that is what I'm using to justify this little detour expedition off track. It was just a little expedition to go visit that little red beetle. Cute little red beetle. It's called the Cute Little Red Beetle Detour. You're always at the right place at the right time. And when you think you're not, you really are. Back at this sign, I was following Monolith Valley because I saw the symbol of the tent, but let's go to Castle Saddle with the symbol of a fire. And there's a creek, so the creek probably means campground. Gosh, that was silly of me. Oh well. The good thing about hiking by yourself is you can't blame anyone else but yourself. Anyway, it's really not a big deal. Okay, so now I'm 90% sure that I'm hiking down to the campground. Then I can dump the tent, leave some clothes down there so my pack is lighter, and then we can do the actual castle and summit it. Alright, so found the campground and I've just gone straight to scouting out the water source, which is a couple hundred meters away, but it's this creek. It's nice. There was a bearded dragon there earlier and he scuttled off. I've collected my water. It's not running water, but it's a large enough volume and it's clear enough that I'm comfortable to collect it. It's brown though, but that's just tannins from the leaves and that's safe to drink. So let's go back to camp, set stuff up, and then let's think about hitting up the cradle. I walked across some people, two lots of people who cancelled their ascent because of how windy it is up there. So the Cobra can't come, and I'm going to have a think about what to do. I might try and just see how we go. All right, so the wind is picking up, but there's this nice flat spot here for camp, and the wind is going from this direction towards the camera. So having these trees here will be delightful, and there's no big widow makers. Well, there's one branch, but it wouldn't be lethal. Wouldn't kill me, but it would hurt. Oh my gosh. And it's gonna rain tonight, so although I don't really need a 3-person tent, I'm glad I've got a 4-season stormproof tent. It's actually a 3-season, it's 3 to 4 seasons. Whatever seasons it is, it's gonna be strong enough to handle a bit of Australian wind. I say Australian wind because these are Australian mountains. There's a very different standard of mountain between the Aussie mountains and non-Aussie mountains, like the Himalayas and stuff. Alright, so here's my plan. I've set up camp. There it is. Well beyond my needs. I do not feel worried at all about the wind. It is well pegged down. It's literally called the Marmot Fortress, and I think it can handle some pretty intense winds. I haven't put any other guy lines up. It's quite sheltered from the shrubs around it. So the wind was coming from this direction. So I've set it up here with right against the shrubs so that I have a good windbreak. And although I can hear massive gusts of wind coming every 15 minutes or so, it actually doesn't feel too bad on the ground. So I think they're just going above us. But the tilt of the trees tells me that the wind is going to constantly come from here because all the trees are just tilted to the right. So I'm happy with the tent location. I'll figure out a nice tip on how to figure out which way to sleep in your tent or how to orient your tent is to put a drink bottle down and to look at where the water level goes so you can know which way is up and down, because it's never perfectly flat and you always obviously want to sleep with your head above your feet. But I've got a water bladder or a water bottle I can do that with. But look guys, I'm going to have a 10-minute break. I'm going to do a bit of stretching and then I'm going to bloody summit this thing. Alright, we're leaving the tent behind. and we're gonna give it a crack. It's that. Let's go. All right, so I've dumped out like all my gear. I've just got the necessities, which is a bit of food, a windbreaker, or rain jacket I mean, and a first aid kit, and some water. So I'm much lighter than I was before. But actually, my leg, I thought it would be really easy to do this with a lighter pack. But actually my legs are already sore. It was just so hard. I think my pack was just way too heavy for how strong I am. But hopefully once they warm up a little bit, it'll be better. But yeah, I can already feel my legs saying, go away, turn around, go drink a cup of tea. Nope, must go to the top, or at least try. Look at all the wildlife you get when you just come out. It's so good. Makes you realize that there's so much more than just you. You know, the swell is a big place, and this is all happening while you're at home. It's all happening, it's just waiting for you. Anyway, the reason I started filming was to do another poll, because last week when I went hiking it was freezing. This week it's so hot. Okay, it's not so hot, it's just quite hot. Let's be more measured. It is quite hot. So the top was 27, it's starting to cool down now. But I want to know from you guys, do you guys prefer summer or winter for outdoor activities? All right, I'm up to the rope section. There was a big sign saying, do not depend on the ropes, we do not maintain them, which is fair enough, because it rains and stuff and they do break, but they haven't broken recently. Let's do this. We're going up, and the hat's coming off. Big thank you to these people who did this. Oh, for this one I'm going to need more leg mobility. I'm going to roll this up. That's all just one big cliff. But at least we get a bit of a taster for the view. Whew, look at that. Isn't that awesome? Look at this plateau, how it squiggles. That is just spectacular. Yep. Yeah, look, if I have to cancel, that is fine by me. Just spectacular. Woo-wee! It's a lot of wind. So for my afternoon tea, I've got some fruit cake and I've got cheese wrapped with prosciutto and some crackers. I'm going to start with the crackers. Or should I say the prosciutto? Wow, it's really blowing. There's a lot of wind here. Oh, my bag. All right. Let's change spot because the camera's about to blow away. My bag almost just blew away. Just get one cracker in, and then we can change spots to. So, as I was saying before the wind rudely interrupted me on the other side of the mountain, got these cool crackers, and oh, yeah, they do crack. I just I got like some cranberry cheddar, and I wrapped it up with some prosciutto. I know this does not look appetizing, but there's cheddar in there, cranberry cheddar. You just chuck that on there, little sandwich. That makes such a good hiking snack. So I don't think I made it to the top, and I'm not going to go to the tip top. I essentially got to a point where I was feeling a bit sketched out, and then a big gust of wind shook me. So then I sat down, and then I don't know if it got it on camera or not, but a gust of wind almost blew my bag away. And my bag is full of stuff. Like, it's not light. It's lighter than before, but like it almost flew away. I was like, okay, the wind up there was way too intense. So I've just come down a bit to eat some food, to enjoy some tranquility and beautiful views, to eat some food, and then I'll head down to camp, have a bit of a campfire. There's two people who kind of were setting up camp there when I left, and they were really nice, so I might have a cup of tea with them. And yeah, just reflect on life and on nature. Even though it's a little bit tight. Oh, yes. Oh, like a glove. You guys look worried there for a second. So guys, I was thinking of setting up the tripod and recording me going down that, the ropes down there, but if I do that, then I have to climb back up to collect the tripod. And I'm too tired. So I want you all to psychologically, just imagine that you're seeing footage of, me climbing down that rope for some B-roll. And then I'm just gonna go do it without recording it so that I don't have to come back and get the camera. See ya. Home sweet home. So as a little announcement, I got my sleeping bag back, which is great. But I'm still borrowing my friend's sleeping pad, just trying to test it out to see if I want to get one of the same models. Anyway, tent is looking set up, and I'm almost ready for some food. Just drying off my toes. I'm gonna have a little lie down for 10 minutes before getting up and getting some food. Okay, so for dinner, I'm just gonna boil a bit of water and have an easy chicken cacciatore. I was gonna make some camp bread, but I can't really be bothered. I'm pretty tired, so I'm just gonna keep it easy, and I'll do some bread maybe tomorrow at home. And this is just, I don't even know what cacciatore is. Hopefully it's not too spicy. But if I'm still hungry, then I've also got a backup of some Indian style spiced rice. So I'm going to go to the fire with some other people and just have a cup of tea and dinner with them. And I won't film too much because I don't want to just go to other people and start filming, but they seemed really kind. There's just a couple doing a hike as well. They cancelled their summit because of the wind. And so I'll go catch up with them. Cool. See you guys after. Well, it's much less windy than I expected, which is nice. I just had a lovely dinner with the couple that have got a tent here as well. It's a public campground where I'm camping, so it's expected that there would be other people. So we just had a nice chat, ate some food, and then I've come back to bed. It was nice. They started a campfire, so I didn't even have to make a fire. So I just used their fire to boil some water and eat that chicken cacciatore, and it was okay. The water wasn't hot enough. I didn't bring it to a full boil. Anyway, so it was just like chewy, but it was still yummy. So now I'm gonna try and go to bed early, which is very easy for me. I usually fall asleep early. and I'm going to listen to some Harry Potter. I'm up to, what book am I up to? I'm up to The Order of the Phoenix, and Dumbledore and Voldemort have just had the most intense fight. So I'm going to listen to that, and then I'm going to go to bed. And I'll see you guys in the morning with what I hope will be a beautiful sunrise. I'll even set my alarm on, I think, to try and catch it. I think it should be around 6:30 a.m. And so I'll make myself a cup of coffee and go check out the sunrise. Well, guys, here is the view. You know, in its own right, it is incredibly impressive to just have this dense sheet of grey. But also, how good would have waterproof pants been? That's through 2 minutes of walking through the shrubbery. I'm going to get such wet legs. So guys, I am drenched and very uncomfortable, but I'm quite happy. I was realizing this is so important, to get uncomfortable, to get, you know, it's very re-embodying. It's very hard to dissociate when you are fully drenched in water 3 hours from your car. So my feet are drenched, my legs are drenched, everything's drenched. But this discomfort is what generates gratitude for comfort. So for me, this is important. This is what makes me appreciate my bed, my warm shower, so I don't take those things for granted, and that I'm more grateful. And the cheapest way to be happier is to have more gratitude. So this is my budget guide to being happy. Just get uncomfortable, work hard, and earn your comfort. I just wanted to say that if I was to jump into a pool right now, I would probably get drier. That's how wet I am. Okay, only one person got the "My Thighs Are on Fire" song mimic in the last video. So for this video, I've got my song. It's I'm wet, I'm wet, I'm really, really wet. Who's wet? I'm wet, I'm wet, I'm really, really wet. Don't you tell me you're wet, because actually I'm wet. Who's wet? Alright, if anyone can tell me what song I'm mimicking, 10 points. Oh. Hello, Mr. Tree. That just fell on me. How rude. What? So not only is it raining, it's water falling. That's pretty beautiful. Anyway, when we're wet and miserable is a great time to reflect on what we're grateful for. So leave down in the comments, what are you grateful for today? For me, it is the fact that I'm going downhill. I'm very much sick of going uphill after yesterday. I think I did about 7 hours of uphill hiking, including that detour that I took. So I was so wrecked, but at least going downhill uses different muscles, so it's going alright. Just wanted to give you guys an update that yep, still raining, and yep, still wet. Drenched. So many pretty flowers. Anyway, almost at the car now. I think only half an hour to go or so. Alright, finally, in the car, wrinkly fingers, dry at least. Tip to self for the future is put a towel in the car in case you arrived at the car wet, because I couldn't really dry myself. I just had an extra t-shirt that I used. But what an incredible journey. I'm going to reflect on that on the drive back. But my plan is to basically go and have a big breakfast somewhere with a big coffee and scrambled eggs and bacon and eggs. Did I say eggs already? And just be warm. But yeah, that was just incredible and spectacular. I'm really glad I did it. I don't mind the misery of being wet. That was like 3 or 4 hours of hiking in the morning there, just drenched. That's the wettest and longest. That's the longest I've been wet hiking for, I think. And yesterday was the hardest I think I've ever worked in a hike. So a lot of firsts this hike. The Akubra was actually a standout. Like, it does get very wet, but it kept my face and neck very dry. I just tucked my my rain jacket hood underneath it and it worked really well. Alright guys, that's it. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye for now.